Welcome to the Too Much Girls podcast, a podcast by women who overthink, overexert, and overwhelm themselves, and how we try to overcome those feelings. Today's episode focuses on that toxic voice inside our heads, aka imposter syndrome and self-doubt, and strategies to navigate it. I've been experiencing a lot of self-doubt and imposter syndrome in my streaming and workplace, and I'm trying very, very hard to overcome it. Today's guest is Strawbxrrysaucee, Twitch streamer and member of the Firekeepers.
I stream on Twitch Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, and sometimes Saturdays if I am feeling up for it. You'll either see me or a PNG tuber depending on energy levels, and I play a lot of Souls games, and very occasionally I'll play a cozy game. And yeah, on Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube, and that's pretty much the only social media that I use. And it's all under Strawbxrrysaucee. That's kind of it.
So outside of content creation, what are your hobbies or interests that you might have?
I am a full-time college student. I study chemistry. I'm going for my master's in nuclear engineering, so I'm a STEM girly. I love going to STEM, supporting women in like male-dominated fields. It's kind of like a big thing I do. I play a lot of video games in my free time other than just on stream. And I like to travel. I spend a lot of time going between my state and New York. So I've kind of traveled quite a bit of places. And I read. I love reading. I have a lot of books, and I enjoy like cozy gaming in my free time and Souls games, and that's kind of it. I'm just a homebody.
Nuclear engineering sounds so cool. That sounds
it's a lot.
Awesome. I'm sure it's a ton of work, and like GG's to sticking through like getting your master's in it, because that's wild. And that's really awesome. I love STEM. I think it's super important. I used to be a preschool teacher, so I would always incorporate that into like all my lessons and everything. And I think more people should be STEM people.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of women are like, they don't like to go into it because it's like intimidating. And I've grown up in a lot of like engineering classes, and I've gotten used to being the only girl in the room, and it's definitely uncomfortable at times, but it's nice to see more women going into the field, and I've met so many amazing women who are in STEM and who are in like gaming and stuff like that. So it's really cool to when you meet the girls who are in the field. It's like I get super excited. Here he is,
an orange kitty.
Say hi.
Oh my gosh, does he have like that orange kitty energy?
Yeah, he's kind of dumb, honestly. He's yeah, he's not all there upstairs.
Oh, no.
He's really sweet though. He's like, I wasn't a cat person until I got him. He's just so he's just so sweet. He's like, I don't know, I love him.
That's so cute. I love kitties, and I just love how like I feel like they seem smart, and then there's so many times though when you're just kind of like, are you like, is there a brain cell in there? Like what? Like, are you sure? My cat will sometimes she'll be like grooming herself, and then she'll like pause dramatically and like look off into space. And then she'll like go back to, and I'm just like, are you having epiphanies? Like, what's going on? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, he likes to lay on my head. Like he has to lay on my no, please don't jump on my lap. He likes to so we sleep like in front of the window. So he sleeps on this side of the bed, and he has like pushed me to the corner. Don't flash your butthole, that's rude.
Aww. He's so cute. I love him. He's like,
I feel like he's just gonna
flick my tail at you. Aw. Oh, he wants to be with you. That's so cute.
What?
Aw. That's adorable.
Oh, my buddy. Oh, you have a crusty in your eye. It's gross. All right, whatever.
So the too much girls was born out of my own struggles with doing too much, like usually to my detriment. So overextending, overwhelming, overthinking, self-sabotage, gender role expectations. So if I struggle with this, there are obviously other women and femmes that do as well. So do you struggle with these things, and how have you adapted to overcome these challenges?
I absolutely have have struggled with a lot of the same similar things, especially having like mental health issues that kind of surround that, you know. It's definitely yeah, I've definitely struggled, especially with burnout. I used to work like 40 to 50 hours a week, and then trying to like grow on Twitch was very, very hard. It was, I mean, burnout was like, it was to the point where I actually took a month off of like social media and streaming just because I couldn't do it. Um and I think now like I am full time now. So it's a little there's still burnout even being full time, just because you're it's not like a, how do I say this? Like a, it's not like a traditional or typical job where it's like a 9 to 5. You still definitely face burnout. I definitely have, streamed too many days in a row, and I've had to take time off. But I think the most important thing I do to kind of navigate it is I don't go for longer like than I know that I can handle. I know a lot of people like to, if their numbers are doing really good, they'll kind of push themselves to go longer, which is fine, if you are able to handle that. I know for me personally, I really can't stream more than 5 or 6 hours at a time without getting like huge burnout after, just exhausted. So I kind of like found my limit of how long I can stream for in like one sitting. I take breaks, and I make sure that I have like one offline day a week where like I might have a couple people tabbed up, but I'm not super active on Twitch. I'm just kind of there getting my watch streaks, leaving a lurk up for people. Um, but mostly is I kind of just listen to my body, and even if I don't want to sometimes, and I'm like, oh, my numbers are doing good, like maybe I should just go longer to like so my average goes up. I've stopped doing that to kind of manage burnout. And then in regards to like being super critical and like self-sabotage, personally I shut my views off, and I don't look at them while I'm streaming. I try to just be in the moment. Um, and I don't look at my numbers after stream, because I don't want to compare. I try really hard not to kind of get in my head about stuff like that. If you have a bad stream or something. Um, yeah, I think that's kind of how I navigate that.
I think turning your numbers off when you're streaming is so important. I like have to stop myself. I feel like all the time from like hovering my cursor over the view count in the Twitch video like manager. It's
Yeah.
still so I still find myself though going into the viewers list though, which I'm like trying really hard to break that habit, but it is hard because you do want to know, but then if it's
Yeah.
not like big enough or like a lot of people, then you get stuck in your head. So I can completely relate to that. um
Yeah, it's hard. It was hard to stop doing it, especially as I was like getting out of the, like, going from like, right when you first start out, you have like 3 average viewers to get affiliate, and then like you slowly go up, and then I've had streams where I've averaged 50, and then I've had my next stream I've averaged like 10, and I was like, I can't look at it because I'm
mhm.
gonna beat myself up.
Yeah. Yeah, I think There was a moment where I wasn't looking at my like averages and everything, and I've started looking at them again. And yeah, I like to see numbers fluctuate, but I also hate to see it. You know what I mean? Because yeah, it's
Yeah.
like like there was a time where I was averaging like 25 average viewers, and now it's down to 17 or like 10 or like whatever. And it is hard when it like when that stuff happens. And that's just like the nature of the beast with Twitch, unfortunately, is that it's kind of like up to the people that are in your community, and sometimes they can't always be there, or sometimes people like leave and you just don't know why, and that's okay. So it's like all of that stuff I can totally understand. So the topic of today is the toxic voice inside our heads, aka imposter syndrome and self-doubt. So when have you ever experienced imposter syndrome or self-doubt? And I know we kind of already touched on that a little bit.
I think it's funny, it was recently, the imposter syndrome. I don't get it too much. I am like a I still feel like I definitely am a small creator. I think recently I was at TwitchCon EU, and I don't know a lot of people there, but there was someone there who was like waiting to say hi to me, and they were like, "Oh my God, like it's so good to see you." And I was like, "Oh my God, like someone actually recognized me." And I was like, "This isn't real life." And
That's
it felt
awesome.
weird. I was like, "Oh my God."
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. I love that. You went to
Yeah.
TwitchCon EU. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot. It was like being from the East Coast in the United States. It was a long travel. It was my first class flight. That was nice. But
That must have been really nice.
yeah,
I would have
that was a lot of fun.
I would have felt like such a celebrity.
Yeah.
I've only
That's
ever
nice.
been to, well, I've only been once, and I went to TwitchCon San Diego last year. But I've heard from a lot of people that TwitchCon EU is like, I don't know, it's like more fun, I guess. I don't really know if that's true. Um,
Um, I had more fun, and I went to San Diego last year too. I had way more fun, and see, I didn't have the best time at this TwitchCon. I was with my boyfriend, so me and him had a great time together.
uh-huh.
But other than that, like we were like, yeah, it was like in total, it was like a lot of money to go because we did fly first class. We stayed for a week. It was very expensive, and we just wouldn't make that expense again.
Yeah. No, I can totally understand that. So when you do feel imposter syndrome, how does it make you feel?
Oh my God. Uh, I think I get like super like I don't know if self-critical is the right word, but I'm gonna go with that. It's like if I feel like imposter syndrome, I'm like I'll see a video that does really good, and I'll get a little bit of imposter syndrome, and I'm like I'm just me, I guess, and I'm like, why? Or like I don't know how to describe the feeling. It's such a weird yeah, I don't
No, that's okay.
um yeah, that one's hard.
Yeah. I mean, I've been experiencing imposter syndrome at work a lot lately, where I feel like I'll make these tiny little mistakes or I'll miss something, and then I'll like get in my head about it and be like, am I qualified for this job? Like why, like why did I miss that? I should know that. Like it's like little things that I should know that I like sometimes will miss. That in the grand scheme of things, looking back, it's really not that big of a deal. But like in the moment, especially when like my coworkers mention it, when they'll be like, "Oh, you gotta do that," or like do this, like I always get
Mhm.
so stuck in my head about whether or not I'm like good enough, you know? So I can
Yeah.
definitely, yeah, how it's like a weird feeling. It is hard to describe because it's not necessarily like an emotion, right? Um,
Yeah.
yeah. And then what do you do to navigate it?
I think honestly, like it's so hard, and I still do it. I try really hard not to compare myself when I start to get like imposter syndrome. I'm like, I mod for you know, a bigger streamer, and I have a lot of friends that do like they're doing so good and I'm so proud of them. Then I like sometimes it's like I try so hard not to compare, and I think the hardest thing is to not compare. Um, because I think it just makes it worse. It makes the imposter syndrome worse because then you start to go like, oh, there are people who've been streaming like less time or the same time as me, and I feel like I don't fit in because I'm not doing, this or this. And then I kind of have to be like reroute myself, and I'm like, no, like everyone's journey is different. Don't compare to other people because what works for somebody might not work for you, or it might not like make you happy just to copy someone else because it's working for them. You might end up being not happy. So I have to like remind myself of like, just do what makes you happy, do what you want to do, push the content that you want to make, because it is different for everybody else.
Yeah, I feel like the self comparison is a huge one. Like I constantly am comparing myself to other people, and yeah, I'm like super proud of the people that I know who are crushing it and
Hmm.
like growing in the way that they want to, but I constantly am also thinking about like, well, what could I do differently, or like what are they doing that I'm not doing? And sometimes it's just like, yeah, it's just, it is how it is. You're doing everything you can and
Hmm.
you're making great content. And so it's hard to, yeah, get out of that headspace. I know people who reached partner within 2 years, and I'm going on year 4, and I'm like nowhere near reaching partner, but I still have to tell myself like it's okay, because I
Yeah.
also know some people where it took like 6 or 7 years. So everybody's journey is different. And I feel like it's hard, but we always need to constantly remind ourselves of that. Um, but yeah, it's hard to feel like you belong too, because you're kind of like, should I be like? I always feel like, should I be doing this? Like, what am I doing? And I found that, and it's getting better. But when I first started streaming, I felt this like sense of like amazement and wonder and like really like a ton of happiness, and like a couple months ago, I started not feeling that way, where it didn't feel the same. And I was like trying to figure out what exactly that was. And I think it's because I started to put way too much pressure on myself. Um, and it was taking away from the joy and like the fun that it used to give me. So I think, yeah, it's important to focus on just like what you're doing, and like kind of like what you said, just like focus on the here and the now and all of that.
Yeah.
So do you think that content creators deal with this more than others? So why or why not? Like a person who doesn't stream compared to a content creator.
I definitely think like non-content creators feel it because I'm personally relatively new to content creation. I started like a year and a half ago, like at the end of 2024. So I definitely, even before then, I felt like I definitely still felt like the imposter syndrome. And maybe it was because I was like, I was still doing like STEM related things. I was a project manager and for a pretty well-sized company, and I had like never done it before. And I definitely felt imposter syndrome. I was like, I definitely in my head I was like, I don't belong here. Like I don't know, I don't have a degree at this point. I don't know what I'm doing. I am just making it up as I go. Any mistake that I made, I was like, I was so hard on myself. And that was before content creation. So I definitely think that people do. Um, I definitely think a lot of women in STEM do. I know that from talking to a lot of like women in STEM. I know we all kind of sometimes get that, like it's very scary to be the only woman in the room, and I definitely think that that especially in that field, they would feel imposter syndrome.
Mm. I can totally see that, because I mean, if you look at history, like women used to not even be allowed in those spaces at all. And
Right.
so I feel like we still deal with that societal, even though it's not the norm anymore, it feels like
Mhm.
the norm that women don't belong in those spaces, which is silly. Um, and
Yeah.
so, but I think that that's like an underlying, subconscious thing that, here we are surrounded by all these men and we worked really hard to get here. Um, and it's kind of, yeah, you can kind of definitely feel I don't belong here. Like, what did I like? How do I compare to these other people? Like, how can I prove that I belong here? And then if you want to like try to prove that you belong there, it even puts even more pressure on yourself, I feel like, you
Oh,
know?
yeah.
Because then if you mess up, it's like a whole snowball situation.
Yeah, you just spiral after.
Uh-huh. Like, oh crap, like I was supposed to show them I'm cool. Now I messed up. Now what? Like so it's just yeah, a constant circle of so
Yeah.
yeah. Do you think there are certain triggers for imposter syndrome or self-doubt? Like certain things that people might say, or things that happen? Like my trigger is if I make like a mistake or if I get like constructive criticism.
Uh, I definitely think like making mistakes can really be a trigger. And I honestly like I also think that like getting caught up in metrics can be like from a content creator perspective that can definitely be a trigger because you find yourself like snowballing over, you know, I posted a reel that was very similar to something that someone else posted and theirs got 2.1 million views and I got 5, and then it's like maybe I'm not doing something right. And that can definitely like I've definitely had moments like that where I've like seen someone make something and I was like, "Oh, I really liked that idea." And then I made something similar like with my own spin on it because that's kind of how in my mind content creation works. It's like a lot of the times it's seeing things that you like and then using that in your own content. And mine didn't do good and I was like, "Oh, like did I do something wrong? Maybe I'm not cut out for this." And another one, this one's kind of this one might be like a different is I think another thing is a lot of the times in content creation and like on social media, a lot of it isn't real, a lot of it is fake. And I don't do that. Like what you see online is what you get in real life. Maybe just a lot more anxiety. But it's um it's I I feel like I don't belong because I don't do the I don't want to call it fakeness, but I struggle with that a lot. I struggle with the like someone doesn't like someone and then, they're coming to tell me that they don't like someone and then I see them all hanging out and I'm like that doesn't you in my mind it's like I would never do that. Why is everybody doing that?
Mhm.
And then I beat myself up and I'm like, do I have to pretend to like people I don't really like and like I don't that's not who I am and that honestly like that's a big for me personally that's a huge trigger for me like I've definitely had times where I've like cried and I've been like I can't pretend to be something I'm not be somebody that I'm not just because that's what does well or that's just not me and that's a big one I think.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of times we get caught up in the whole like, well, this like style, right? Or this, certain clothing or, certain games, like they get a lot of like attention, so to speak. But if that's not what we play or like what we wear, or like how we do our makeup, it's like, it's not you, even though it's going to get you a lot of views or a lot of likes on your post. Deep down, it is hard. Like I always think about like, oh, I could wear this or like do my makeup this way. And then I always think, well, that's just
Yeah.
not how I do it normally. So why would I do it for one day? you know?
Yeah.
Like, I feel that too with the whole like, you know, the posting to TikTok or like Instagram where somebody might be getting a ton of likes and then you post something similar and then it doesn't really like get as many likes. I find that with like my own content sometimes, like one reel or one YouTube video or TikTok will like do really well and then the next one will like underperform. And I feel like that's a big trigger for me too, because I'm like, well, wait a second. I felt like that was pretty good. Like, what do you mean? um,
It's definitely hard to like when you put so much effort into it.
uh-huh.
Like I've spent like hours editing something and it was my first one and I was like, oh my god, like I spent so much time and then I got like 5 views and I was like, well, that's
Like, well,
fine.
that stinks. I know. Like, my most viewed YouTube video is literally, I don't know, if you played Dark Souls 1.
I'm playing it now. I love it
Okay.
so much.
I
Well,
won't
it's jank, but
say
I like it.
it is so janky. It made me so mad because I played Bloodborne and Elden Ring first, and then I went to Dark
hmm
Souls 1, and I feel like that was a huge mistake because I was so used
Oh
to the
no.
fluidity of those games. And I was like,
That's
this
what I'm doing right now. No.
is the rage.
Oh man.
I don't know if you're at this point, so I'm not gonna like say names or anything, but I was fighting a boss, and I used to post all my Souls boss fights to YouTube just in case people missed it because of an ad break or they couldn't be there.
hmm
And it's literally the most simple video. It's literally like it's got a little title, and then it just goes through the boss fight, and then it's over. And like it's nothing special, and it has like 1K view, and I'm like, why? And then like my really edited ones that I actually put in a ton of effort into, like, don't get, they get like 50, and I'm like, okay, but like, what, make this make sense?
Yeah,
you
I
know?
those like I've made some like funny meme ones. Like I
Uh-huh.
think I made one and it was like it was something stupid. It was like some stupid sound and I don't remember which one it was, but I was like it was like I don't know, it was like when you buy another game but your backlog's over here and it got so many views. And then I posted like my edited one that took me like 3 days to do and it got like 4 and I was like okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so, it's just, it's frustrating sometimes. I just don't understand. Also, speaking of like backlog, I was talking to another streamer last night about how, you know, we have like 20 like games in our backlog, and yet we still, like, I don't know if you do this, but I end up just playing the same game over and over again,
Yeah.
even though I have so many other games that I could start.
Yeah.
Do you
I'm
have
the
a
same
game
way.
that you just like can't leave alone that you just love and just play all the time?
Um I have two. So I love Minecraft. I've loved Minecraft since it's come out. Um, I remember when it came out, I was in middle school and I played it with my friends. And even now, like earlier today, I was I was playing Minecraft. I love it. Um, my cat is being crazy right
We
now.
love I love crazy cats. It's okay.
He just like tried to jump on my desk and he missed it.
Oh no.
The other one is Elden Ring. I have played it so many times. I've platinumed it. I was doing RL1, now I'm doing Hitless. I love it. I don't think I can ever get enough of it. I think anytime I'm like need like a cozy a cozy game to play, I'm like Elden Ring is my cozy game. That's what
Yeah.
I'm gonna play.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. So I'm stuck on my RL1 run. I am stuck on and
Mm.
I can't get past the first phase of that fight. I'm so stuck, and I actually like I took a break, but it's been since I think the last time I like went through RL1 was maybe back in like January. And I haven't gone back to it. I keep thinking and now I'm kind of to the point where, because I did have some help with Godskin Duo and with Fire Giant. And so I think I'm kind of to the point now where I'm like, you know what? If I have to summon friends in, I'm going to summon friends in because I just want to get this done.
Right.
And
That's what I
then
would do.
I'm not trying to get on like a leaderboard or anything, but I just like want to, and I keep telling myself, you know what? The boss health pool gets bigger when you summon in friends. So in a way, it's still a challenge. And I'm not gonna I know for a fact people are gonna be like, this isn't RL1, and I'm gonna be like, I don't care.
It is. You're still rune level 1, just
Right.
with friends.
Exactly. And everybody else who gets summoned in, like, even if they're higher level, they go down to like your level more. So everybody
Right.
is under leveled fighting the boss. So I feel like it still counts in a way.
It does. It
So,
definitely still counts. It's you're using a game mechanic that was put into the game.
yes.
I think it counts.
Yeah. Well, thank you for saying that because I've been like stuck in my head about like, oh my gosh, does this even count anymore? Can I even say that I beat Elden Ring RL1 if I did it with like friends?
Yes, I think you
Oh,
can.
good. Awesome. What's your secret though? I mean, like, besides don't get hit, what's your secret to like an RL1 run in Elden Ring?
I haven't finished mine.
Oh, okay.
But uh don't crash out.
It's a big
Cuz I
one.
get tilted. I get so tilted when I play some games. Like I was playing I started my first playthrough of Bloodborne recently. It's so fun.
Bloodborne is my favorite Souls game ever. I've played it like 5 times. It's amazing.
I love it so far. I actually was doing really good. I was playing through it. I think it was Saturday I was playing and I was having a great time. I was like, this is so much fun. And then I got to the first boss, and not the optional one, the actual first boss. And I fought him for 3 hours and I was so pissed. I was like, there is no way that. And the first attempt was so good. I got him down to like less than a quarter health. Like I did so good. And then I sucked for 2.5 more hours. And then finally I Googled it. I was like, how do I beat this stupid boss? And then after a couple attempts, I was like talking to myself. I was like, because I play on a Switch controller. And so I've been playing on the PlayStation controller. So I was like, okay, you have to press this button, and this button in this order to like, I was like throwing things and stuff at him. And then once I did that, I finally beat him and I was like, oh my God, it felt so good.
Yeah, I know. That boss I feel like always like gives me a hard time too. Like the last time I fought him, it took me and it was like my fifth time fighting him, but like the
Mm-hmm.
last time I had fought him, I beat him first try. And so I was like, oh, this is like no big deal. Like, and then it was taking me like forever. And I think I was getting frustrated because I'm like, okay, so I beat this guy first try the last time I fought him solo, and now I can't even get him down to like half health. Like, what is going on? I also feel like that boss can be frustrating because he's like, I feel like he's a skill check boss, and it's really
Oh
weird
yeah.
to find a skill check boss as like the first boss. Like, that's the boss
Yeah.
that's like, hey, do you know how to do this? Because you're going to have to.
Yeah. I was shocked. I was like, holy, like, and then everyone in my comments who've like beaten the boss. It was really cool because they were like, everyone in chat was like, oh GG's. I was like, oh my God, I did it.
Yeah.
But they were all like, this is the first, like, this is definitely like a make or break point for the game. Like, this is
Mm-hmm.
what weeds out people
Oh, yeah.
who can keep playing it. And I was frustrated. I was like, every time I walked in, I was like, he's so fast. Like, I absolutely I was tilted. It was hilarious. I was like, I would get mad. I go, I need to calm down. I need to calm down.
I totally feel that though. Like, I'm playing Jedi Fallen Order right now, and I feel like that game is like a skill check for me because you definitely have to parry a lot in that game. And I'm a dodge, duck, dodge, and roll
Oh,
Souls player.
okay.
Like, I don't want to say like I don't parry because that sounds like super bougie, but like I'm not good at it. And so
Yeah, that's
whenever I
fair.
have to, if I don't have to parry, I won't. But I feel like in that game, you kind of have to. And so like I was crashing out the last time I was streaming it. And I remember like getting so self-conscious because I feel like sometimes when I crash out, people are like especially new people are like, oh, well, she's annoying. I'm gonna go. Like, you know.
Yeah.
And so then I get really like nervous about it, and then I start feeling really bad. And I was talking about it. I was saying like, man, I'm so sorry, you guys. Like, I'm so sorry for raging. And one of my mods was like, your rages are very mild. Like it's okay. Like you're not throwing your controller across the room. You're not smashing your keyboard. like, like
Yeah.
to get frustrated is it's okay. Like, and I feel like that's what makes it more authentic. Like, I don't know. I just know some streamers who can just stay so positive or like laugh about it the whole time, and I try to laugh about it, but sometimes I just like I get so irritated, and then I get self-conscious about it.
Yeah, I swear a lot. And I think getting mad at the game definitely comes with the Souls territory. Like I watch a streamer and he's great. He's wonderful. And he does a lot of hitless runs and like even he gets frustrated and I'm like, okay, like if the professionals who play this game are getting frustrated, I feel like I can get frustrated.
Uh-huh.
But
Oh yeah.
I like a good parry. I'm a little different. I
Yeah, I mean when you parry, it does feel so good. Like I don't know if you've played
yeah.
Ghost of Tsushima or not.
I haven't. It's on
Okay.
the backlog.
The parry, so you have to parry, it's like classic melee. So there's parrying in that game, and the parrying in that game is addictive. And that's like the only game where I feel like when you parry, it just feels so good. Because
Yeah.
in Jedi Fallen Order, I feel like you parry and sometimes it doesn't even hit, and you're like, what? Why? So, or it just doesn't feel the same. I don't know. It's like, I think it's like the feedback in the controller, like the PlayStation
Yeah.
controller, where it like just feels different. And I think that's like also my barrier is that I don't get that like sensory feeling from it.
Yeah, that's so fair.
um, all right, so let's talk a little bit or like dive into a little bit about what we can do. So I have found a couple of articles about things that somebody can do if they're ever dealing with imposter syndrome or self doubt.
Okay.
So Valerie Young is a global thought leader on imposter syndrome, and she's the co-founder of Imposter Syndrome Institute. And she's done a lot of talks with Google and Forbes and with a bunch of bigger companies to their employers and employees to help them overcome a lot of it. And so the first point she makes is to separate feelings from fact. So there are a lot of times you'll feel stupid. So it happens to everyone from time to time. And realize that just because you may feel stupid doesn't mean you are. And I resonate with that a lot. Like sometimes I'll make a mistake and I'll feel like I'm a failure and I'm, stupid or silly. I don't like to say the word stupid, but um,
Yeah.
but, and you do have to kind of like say, like, no, because like, I've gotten here, I've gotten to this point, so I must be doing something right. And just because you feel that way, yeah, I feel like she makes a really good point. Like, your feelings don't necessarily mean truth. And I don't know if you've ever experienced where you felt like in the moment that what you felt in terms of feeling silly, um, you know, you felt like that was like a fact and it kind of weighed on you a little bit.
Definitely. I I get it a lot like still with school. Um, I'll like make like a silly mistake on an exam, um, or I'll or like even in when I'm streaming, and as a fellow Souls girl, you probably get this. You'll make a silly mistake in a fight that you've done countless times, and then you're just like so frustrated, and you're like, oh, like I'm so stupid. I made this mistake, but it's not true. It was like, mistakes happen. It's okay, and I'm still working on it personally. I do definitely get in my head about it still, especially like with school stuff. I get very like I knew that. Why didn't I just like go with my gut? Why did I do that math problem like that? Because unfortunately for my degree, I have to take like very intense like physics and math, and I'm always making some like stupid mistake, like there's like a negative sign I didn't carry over or something like that, and it's very easy to be like, oh, like I'm this, I'm that, and I'm like not good enough. But then you do have to sit back and be like, no, like I got here in the first place. and not a lot of people do. Even playing Souls games, not a lot of people like them. Not a lot of people beat them. If you look at the actual statistics of like just the Steam achievements, like there's a very few amount of people who've actually gone through and beaten the game. So the fact that you've even made it that far is like you can't argue with the statistic.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I know. It's like, like you said earlier that somebody told you that that first boss in Bloodborne is actually like the make or break boss. Like to imagine like people quitting like without even beating the first boss and then you like beating the first boss and continuing on your journey, that feels like I feel like that makes that a huge achievement in itself, you know. Um yeah, definitely. I feel like I'm sorry. I'm having like a little brain fart right now. Please excuse
You're
me.
fine.
I have to like I have ADHD, so sometimes like my brain will just like go off somewhere and I have to like bring it back. Um but yeah, I feel like yeah, you have to like tell yourself like I wouldn't have gotten here with if I didn't have the skills like you said. And you didn't give up, and you need to tell yourself that like you feel like this in the moment, but you need to tell yourself like no, it's okay, like it's not true because I accomplished something that not many people do. So the second point she makes is to visualize success. So do what professional athletes do. Spend time beforehand picturing yourself making a successful presentation or calmly posing your question in class. It sure beats picturing impending disaster and will help the performance related stress. I feel like with content creation, that's a tough one because I feel like visualizing success definitely can help the way you present yourself on stream and your energy and everything. But I feel like if you I don't know. Like this is like a tough one for me because there's manifesting, which I do believe. Like I do believe if you believe it, you can achieve it. But then on the other side, there's like, the little voice in my head saying, well, streaming is subjective. And just because you visualize something doesn't mean it's going to happen because you're dependent on like other people. And so I don't know like your thoughts about that one in terms of content creation specifically.
That's a hard one. I think it's hard to picture what success looks like because like you said, it is subjective. We don't know. Like, we could think that we have a great idea for something, and then, we put it out there and everyone's like, "Hey, by the way, your idea sucks."
Oh no.
And you could be like, "Oh, I thought my idea was great," Um that's a hard one. I think I think in terms of like content creation, I think as long as this is how I feel, I think as long as you're happy with the content that you're putting out and you're like, I'm proud of myself for, for speaking on this, even if a lot of people don't see it, I think that in itself can be the success of like, and visualizing like, I had an idea like, in my case, I talk a lot about mental health. I think it's like as someone who has mental health challenges, I talk about it because I'm comfortable with that, and I'm made posts about it. Talking about what it's like to like live with OCD and anxiety, and I was very proud of myself for what I put together, and it didn't do that good, and I didn't care. I was like, I'm so proud of like that I made this post, and the people who saw it, I hope that, maybe they're like, oh, like, I feel less alone. And to me, that's success. Just if I can make one person feel like less alone, or like one person like be like, huh, like I'm not the only one that feels like this. That to me, that means more than what typical success might look like.
Yeah. I totally get that. Like I'll get stuck in I'll like tell my husband sometimes. I'll be like, "Well, like there weren't a whole lot of people there that day." And he'll say, "Well, you had, your regulars there though. And those are people that want to be there for you every day. And that's so cool to think that there are those few people who look forward to watching your stuff every day. So you keep having to remind yourself that you make those people happy, and that's what keeps you going. Instead of like, I feel like it's so hard for us to get caught up in the bigger picture that we kind of forget about, yeah, like what we already have and where we already are at, and the lives, not the lives that we're changing, but like, the lives that the people that, we're helping improve their mood or improve their day. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. And then the third point she makes is fake it till you make it. So we've all had to fly by the seat of our pants, and instead of considering winging it as proof of your ineptness, learn to do what many high achievers do and view it as a skill. So the point of the worn out phase, fake it till you make it, still stands. Don't wait until you feel confident to start putting yourself out there. Courage comes from taking risks, and change your behavior first and allow your confidence to build. So I had a instructor when I was in OTA school who told us as new grads that we're not going to know everything, and patients and family members are going to ask us questions. And obviously, like if it's a question that you really don't know the answer to, like don't answer it. Like if it's a question for the nurse or the doctor, but if it's a question and you're not quite sure how to answer it, or you feel like you can't answer it, as perfectly as you want to, like still emulate that confidence, and it'll come across as you know exactly what you're talking about. And like, even though your answer is not necessarily like on perfect point, or just like exuding confidence, like when you're in the room with somebody, even though you might be panicking on the inside because this person might have 2 IVs in a chest tube, and they're on a vent, or like what have you. Like, yeah, just fake the confidence even if you don't feel it. And I don't know if you've ever felt that way, where you kind of had to, like, you were panicking on the inside, but on the outside you just kind of faked it, and then it kind of just like developed from there.
Yeah, I do that more with school. I do a lot of presentations. I do a lot of research papers, and my last semester, my I was having a lot of family issues. My grandma was really sick, and it was finals week. And finals week, we had a lot going on. Essentially, she was like moving into hospice, and that's hard to deal with. Um, and I had to go and I had to take exams, and I had to do a lab report, and I had to present. And my favorite thing is to just do it, just like I hate that I said that. That's like Nike weird. But like I I sometimes just I wing it. There's so many times where I've written a paper, um and I don't proofread my papers, and I don't relook over my exams, because then I'll second guess myself. So in my mind, that's my faking it until I make it. It's like if like I take an exam and whatever answer is written down, that's the answer. Everyone's like, "You don't
Mm-hmm.
review your exams?" Absolutely not. I look
No.
to make sure I filled in every circle, and as long as every question is answered, that's it for me, cuz I'll start to second guess myself. Same with papers. I write my paper in one sitting, cuz I think, and I 9 times out of 10 I do it the night before, but that's besides the point. Um I don't reread them. I submit them, and that's kind of I did that whole week. I was like, I would study, and I'd be like, my head's not in this, so if I don't know it now, I'm not going to know it tomorrow. And I went and
Mm-hmm.
I winged my exams, and I passed. So
Uh-huh.
that's all that matters.
Something
But
worked. Yeah.
yeah, when I present stuff, I'm very like I'm even though I'm a streamer, I'm not a yapper. I like maybe yap and talk for like 15 to 20 minutes max, and then I'm like, all right, I'm ready to play the game.
Uh-huh.
Um so I hate presenting. I get so anxious, and I don't prep for it. I just go in there and I'm like, well, I'm just going to pretend that I'm the smartest person in the room, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
and that's kind of that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally like get the whole like test thing where, yeah, you like, I could never go back and like look at my answers either. I would, yeah, like you said, I would make sure everything was filled in and that every blank space needed an answer, had an answer. And then, yeah, because I second guess myself all the time. Like at work, somebody will like be like, do you think they should do this instead of, and even though I know in my head, like, no, I still think we should keep, because like my job is to recommend where patients go after their hospital stay. So if they need more like rehabilitation or if they can go home, we kind of like determine that in a way, or like help kind of make that decision. And sometimes I'll have a coworker go like, do you think they should go here instead of there? And sometimes I'll be like, in my heart, I'll be like, no, I really think they should stay this way, or, you know, but then I'll be like, oh yeah, like I think so. And then I'll be like, why did you say that? Like they literally just like could change your mind that easily. Like, stop it. So I get that. I second guess myself all the time. Or like a case manager will come to me and they'll be like, you know what? I think they can go home, even though I'm recommending more rehab. And I'll be um, like I'll still keep my recs the same, but like I won't say anything. Like I don't know. I'll just be like, okay. But then like I'll keep the recs the same, but I won't be like, well, I think XYZ, because I go into like this little turtle shell and yeah.
Yeah, I struggle with that a lot too. We call it like my partner is he's very good with helping me kind of like have a backbone is like the best way, because I don't have one.
Yeah.
Someone's like, oh, like you should do this way, and I'm like, you should do it this way, and I'm like, okay, and I'm like, wait, that's not the right way. Why would you say that?
Yeah.
And my boyfriend's like, no. He's like, stand up for yourself. Don't do that. He's like, tell him no, and I'm like, okay. It's hard. It's so
hard.
Scary.
I know. I feel like I don't really have much of a backbone either. If like people come into my Twitch chat and they act a little bit unhinged, I'll kind of be like I'll notice and I'll kind of be hesitant to like answer them. But then like my mods will text me and they'll be like, oh my God, like what are you gonna do? And I'm like, I don't know. And then they'll be like, well, I'm gonna ban them, and then I feel bad that I banned them. And then like,
yeah.
Even though, like, yes, like we should have kicked them out, but at the same time, I'm like, but I hurt their feelings. But why do I care? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm so thankful that my boyfriend is one of my mods, because he's like, someone comes in and oh my gosh, someone made like a typical like a woman in the kitchen joke, right?
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah, typical. Like, and I was like, I was like, oh, okay. I was like, if you're gonna be mean to me, you should probably be more original, you know, because I've heard that a bunch of times. And my boyfriend was immediately like, ban. And I was like, he was like, we don't need to interact with those people. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But I feel bad. Because, like, what if they were just having a bad day? He's like, it doesn't matter. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, like with that one person, I was like, so I think it's just you need to change. Like, I don't think that's okay to say. And then, like, my mods were just like, nope, get out. And I'm like, okay.
Yep. We love our mods.
Yeah. And then the fourth point, and then, so Calm, I don't know if you know about the app Calm. It's like the meditation sleep story app.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
They had an article about self-doubt and imposter syndrome as well. And their editorial team had a very interesting article. And one of the points that they made was to keep a wins folder. So keep evidence and receipts of all your accomplishments or praise you've received in personal and professional life. So then when you experience imposter syndrome, you can go back and read about the times where you were appreciated or accomplished something, to kind of like remind yourself of, you know, how awesome you are, essentially. So I used to journal. I don't anymore. I have a book that a friend of mine told me about called Let That Shit Go. And it's where you put all of it out into the book, and then that's where it goes and that's where it stays. And I've used it. I bought it back in January and I've used it twice. which is like not good and I should use it more. But I definitely should probably like make notes after, especially like after streaming, where like what went wrong, not what went wrong, like what went well, and like what was the best part and what made me feel good. So I don't know if like you have like a strategy for that, or if you have like another thing that you use.
Um, I think journaling is really good. It was like on my goals to do this year. So at the beginning of 2026, I made like a little bingo thing of like everything I wanted to accomplish this year. Um, it's not going that good, but that's it's fine.
Yeah.
And one of my goals was to journal every day for like a month, for like 30 days. And I haven't done it yet, but um I'm going to. I just need to buy a journal. I had one and I lost it, but I think that would be like something like really good to add to like the post stream self-care, because
Hmm.
you know at the end of, I think that is something that everyone does need to do, is post stream self-care. I think that's very important. It helps, you know, combat burnout and stuff. But I think maybe if that was included in the post stream self-care, it kind of like holds you accountable almost to do it. If you just like, you know, after you're, even while you're, you know, you rate out and you're chatting, you know, and you keep the notebook at your desk and you just like as you're chatting and hanging out, you know, write down a couple quick things. It doesn't have to be pretty, but just write down a couple quick things of like, oh, this was really good today. You know, and then, you know, once you're like, all right, I need to go get something to eat, go get some like hydration, take a shower or whatever, then you can go do that. And I think if you maybe added that to the post stream self-care, um, you know, I think that would work. I think that would be really good. I've also, I don't have one in my Discord, and now I kind of want to add one. But in a couple of the team Discords that I'm in a couple stream teams, and a lot of them have like celebrate wins,
Hmm.
and we all kind of like put our wins in there, and it's like, oh, like my win the other day was I beat this boss in Bloodborne. Like even though my stream wasn't like quote that good, my numbers weren't that good. You know, I beat this boss that I didn't think I would be able to do. One of my wins, um, when I was like really struggling with like my mental health and stuff, was I streamed. I got up and I pressed go live, and I had a PNG tuber for like those low energy days. I have a PNG tuber, um and I still got up and streamed, and that can be a win in itself. So I think that the celebrating the wins, no matter how big or small they are, I think is very important. So I
Hmm.
like that. I like that point.
I really do like your idea of keeping the journal. And then so when you rate out, you can still do like that post stream routine of writing things down while you're chatting.
Hmm.
So you still feel like it's like I feel like that's a good way to decompress from the stream, and you're still doing like a post stream. Because my struggle is that I have to go be productive after I rate out. Like I
Hmm.
can't sit here because I'll end up sitting there for hours because I just love hanging out with people. But I feel
Yeah.
like that's a good way to kind of like, instead of just leaving immediately, which I do a lot, and I always feel like I say hi and everything, but then I feel like I have to go.
Mhm.
And I always feel really, really bad, but I feel like that's a good way to like keep chatting and keep lurking, but also like still doing that self care decompression that you have to do. I like that idea. I might use it.
Yeah. Even if you like, I know I use Notion for school.
Hmm.
Um and I love Notion. I'm a Notion girly. Um and
Wait, what is
even
Notion?
if, oh my gosh, this might change your life.
Okay, I'm ready.
Um, so it's like a little, it's like an app on your computer, kind of like a little software, and you can like, it has like a calendar and like different tabs for all these different things. Like you can have like a budget one, and it has like a little like their built-in version of like a spreadsheet. Or there's like for my school, there's like um I can put all my assignments in and when they're due, and then when I pull up the software, it's like, and it's super aesthetic. Like you can have like your Spotify and like the lo-fi. It's super cozy. It's so cute. A lot of people do it for habit trackers, like books that they've read to keep track with their books. like grocery lists, shopping lists, just calendars in general. So you can actually have journals within Notion. And so if you wanted to still chat, but you didn't want to say like, full-time streaming's hard. Not a lot of people have extra money, and Notion's free. So you can just type it and it's still on your computer. So you can, have your 2 tabs or whatever and still have Notion up. And again, it's free. You don't have to get any materials, and it's still, is journaling. You're writing your wins, you're writing your thoughts. I love Notion.
That's awesome. I'm going to totally look into Notion.
Yeah, I love it. And you can get like cute little templates, like if you go on Pinterest.
Oh my gosh.
Love it.
I love that. I love making things like super cute and like adding flair to a lot of things. Like I was that person in high school that would like decorate like the outside of like my notebooks, or like decorate my notes.
I'm bad about that.
Do you color code your notes? Because I did that in school. Like I would color code like everything. Like my notes would be all different colors. And I remember
I do a color for every subject.
I remember my instructor came by once, and like my notes were literally just like all these different colors depending on if it were a caption or a subtitle or like bullet points. And she was like, "Oh my gosh." I'm like, yeah. Oh yeah, it definitely does. I think it helps you focus on what's important and you like what you've recorded, because I feel like if it's all in like pen or pencil, it can just get so jumbled. So I'm all for the color coding thing. So then at the end of the podcast, I always do a little outro. So do you have any life advice for anyone who is doing too much?
I always say this, to everyone. If you feel like you're doing too much, you're allowed to take breaks. If you think that you're doing too much of like forcing yourself to stream, or you're spending too much time, trying to like, network and be super active on Twitch to grow. What I like to say is IRL before URL. So take care of yourself. You only have one of you. Listen to your body. Don't push yourself. And you're allowed to take breaks. You don't need to be a certain amount of productive before you take a break. You're allowed to rest. You don't have to be productive 24/7. So I think that's what I would say.
I love the saying IRL before URL. It's like, it's so simple and it speaks volumes. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. This was really fun. I enjoyed our conversation.
This was fun. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for listening. I want to thank our guest Strawberry Sauce for joining. You can find the link to her Twitch channel in the description below, as well as the links to the articles referenced in this episode today. I release new episodes every month, so please feel free to follow me on my socials to stay up to date on when new episodes release. Bye!